Greetings viewers and subscribers. So in this journey, we are now on Spurtree Hill in the parish of Manchester. We are heading towards Mandeville. Sit back, relax and drive with me. Now, today we have a few stories for you. But first up, look at your screen. This was the title of a Gleaner News article this morning, Saturday, January 8, 2022. It says, cops were in the dark that Maroon Festival approved. That was a quotation from Olivia Babsy-Grange, the Minister of Culture. The article, it went on to say, the Jamaican police appear to have been kept in the dark about government approval of the Maroon Peace Treaty anniversary celebration on Thursday and backed off enforcement of coronavirus safety laws after issuing a terse warning that the event was not endorsed by the Health Ministry. The fiasco may offer a source of embarrassment for the police force, whose authority in the sprawling cockpit country lands has been questioned by a compound chief, Richard Curry, amid a shimmering of words about marine sovereignty in the Western Jamaica enclave. Culture Minister Olivia Grange told the Gleaner that the compound celebration has been approved by the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, (ADPEM), contradicting a release by the police on Wednesday that the event would be in breach of the Disaster Risk Management Act and should be cancelled. In a statement issued on Thursday, Grange disclosed that word of the approval appeared to have not been communicated to the police, who were deployed on the outskirts of the community as patrons flocked the location. The minister said she had made intercession on behalf of the Maroons prior to the festival, adding that the annual celebration had cultural significance. Ms. Grange, she went on to say, as Minister of Culture, I wrote to ADPEM and received approval for the ceremonial activities. Today, Thursday, I was in consultation with the Minister of National Security, the Honorable Dr. Horace Chang, and it would appear that the police were not aware of the approval from ADPEM. No. No. You see the problems we have in Jamaica? Do you see the problems we have in Jamaica? The police made a release on Wednesday that the Health Ministry did not approve the function or the celebration, but it was approved by another ministry or a department of another ministry. And even though the police had made that release, the Culture Ministry knew that approval was given, and the police statement that it was not approved was not corrected. So it left us, the general public, to make all kinds of accusations. Hear me now. If you are afraid of doing it, I am not afraid. Chief Richard Curry and the Maroons, we at Popeye NewzLynx want to tell you that we are sorry. Please accept our humble apology. You know that the reason why we came here and said what we said was because of what was said and was not corrected. We are now knowing the truth, so we are apologizing to you. Will any of the ministers or any of the government departments do the same thing that we are doing? Because whatever we want to say about Chief Curry, whatever we want to say, we must be truthful. And Chief Curry and the Maroons, they sought approval and they were granted approval. So how is it that the health department didn't know that ADPEM or the Ministry of Culture had granted permission? All it takes is a phone call. Not true? So if the police made that release Wednesday and Miss Babsy-Grange, the Minister of Culture, she must have seen the release, or somebody from her department must have seen it. All it takes is a phone call from Wednesday night, shortly after the release go out. So we would expect that the police would have come back and correct the statement that based on consultation, approval was given. Is it that hard? Is it really that hard? We don't need to apologize to the Maroons and Chief Curry. We might not agree with everything that he does, but in this case, he deserves all the apology that he should get. Moving right along. So today, we have some news stories for you. First up, we are learning that the Westmoreland police, they have arrested and charged a man. His name is Damion White. He's popularly known as Suicide or Worm. He's 24 years old and he's a farmer. He's from a place named Prospect District in Burn Savannah in the parish of Westmoreland. Now, we are learning that an allegation was made against Worm. The allegations are that on Friday, December 31, 2021, about 9 p.m., Worm was at a premises at Prospect. A man is in his late 60s. He was also at this premises. It is said that he and Worm, they have been having some long-standing disputes. And that night, New Year's Eve, the allegations are that both of them were involved in a dispute when it is alleged that Worm, he pulled a gun from his waist and held it at this man's belly and threatened to dirt him. Worm, he then walked out of the yard. The man, he made a report to the police. So, sometime earlier this week, Worm, he was picked up by the police and he was arrested and charged for 2 offenses. 1, illegal possession of firearm, and 2, assault at common law. So Worm, he will be going to the gun court shortly to face his judgment. Now you remember that yesterday we carried a story about a father who shot his son, and we told you that we are gathering all the information and we'll be coming back to you. So here we are again today. You know that sometimes when something just happens, you get some preliminary reports. Now we are gonna give you what the official report is. The man you're seeing on your screen, his name is Stephen Taylor. We told you yesterday that his name was Akeem Taylor, but his correct name is Stephen Taylor. He's popularly called Akeem. He's 24 years old and he's a businessman. He lives at Ryan Park, Rosal, in the parish of St. James. Stephen Taylor, he would have gotten his name from his father. His father's name is also Stephen Taylor. He's a businessman and he lives at the same Ryan Park address. So we are learning that early yesterday morning, January 7th, 2021, minutes after 5 o'clock, we had said some minutes to 6 yesterday, but we are now learning that it was about 10 minutes after 5, early morning. It is alleged that the senior Mr. Taylor, he was inside of his bedroom. It is alleged that he heard strange sounds coming from the upstairs balcony. We had said roof yesterday. The official report we are now getting is that the strange sounds was coming from the upstairs balcony. It is said that Mr. Taylor is a licensed firearm holder. He armed himself with his licensed firearm and he went upstairs. This is a 2-story house. So Mr. Taylor, he would have been downstairs, and on the upstairs there's a balcony. It is said that Mr. Taylor, he armed himself with his licensed firearm. He climbed the staircase and went upstairs. It is said that he opened the door to the balcony, and as he opened the door, he saw a shadow coming towards him. Mr. Taylor, he fired 1 round towards the person who was coming towards him. He then heard when his son bawled out, "Daddy!" His son fell to the ground. It was then that he realized that he had shot his own son, Akeem. As a result, he made an alarm. The son, he was rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. At 5:45 a.m., the young Stephen Taylor, he was pronounced DEAD by the doctor on duty. Now, when this crime scene was processed, 1 9mm spent shell was recovered from the scene. 1 shot was fired. We had said yesterday that shots were fired. It's only 1 shot. We are now learning that was fired. Now, we are sure that there will be some investigation into this. And the questions are still there, because when we heard about roof yesterday, persons were asking, so what was the son doing on the roof? It has now been clarified. It's the balcony. We are not getting any other information, so we are not gonna say yay or nay. But let's wait. Let's wait for the outcome of this investigation. But one thing I can tell you, Mr. Taylor, I don't think he would have slept since this incident took place early yesterday morning. His licensed firearm was seized by the police. When we get further updates, we will certainly be updating this story. In this next story, it took place yesterday, Friday, January 7th, some minutes after 1 p.m. It took place at a place named Shrewsbury Lagwood. Now, Shrewsbury Lagwood is in the Witham police area in the parish of Westmoreland. Here is what we are learning so far. We are learning that yesterday there was a funeral being held in the Shrewsbury Lagwood area for a man named Parker. Parker, it is said that he and a young man are relatives. Now, this young man, it is said that he pairs with another young man who goes by the name DAMION. DAMION, I have said it on this channel before, is wanted by the police. But DAMION is not only wanted by the police, he's also wanted by hoodlums because the allegations are that he's wanted for an offense of murder. So friends of the person who was taken out or allegedly taken out by him, they are also searching for DAMION. So what we are learning is that an acquaintance of DAMION was at Parker's funeral. Word got around, and you know how the thing go, can't catch Kwaku. When we see him shot, it'll get nyam off. So persons are enemies of either DAMION or his acquaintances. They got word that this acquaintance was at the funeral. So the allegations are that 4 hoodlums, they armed themselves with gun and they made a step. They went to a yard where they had gotten the information because people were standing and talking. When they went to the yard, we are not sure whether or not the person who they went for was there or not. But these hoodlums, in the full view of everyone, because a lot of persons were there, they opened gunfire. Persons ran off in various directions. One young man who was in the yard, he was shot. This young man, he's popularly known as Spider. He's 19 years old and he's living at Witham in the parish of Westmoreland. The hoodlums, they then made good their escape. Now, we are learning that Spider, he received gunshot wounds to his buttocks, his back, and his abdomen. Spider was rushed to a nearby hospital where he has since been admitted in a serious condition. At the time we were recording this video, we didn't get any further updates on his condition, but he's admitted in a serious condition. You want to know something else? You remember last week we carried a story about a man who was in a shop and a man from the area. The man walked up and shot that man. We told you that that man who was shot is popularly called Badaz. Badaz was taken to hospital where he has since been admitted. We are learning that since that incident, Badaz is disabled. I don't want to use that C word, yeah man, that CRIP word, but we are now learning that since that incident, Badaz is disabled. Why am I telling you about Badaz? What we are learning is that this young man who was shot, Spider, he is Badaz's son. You see how the thing set? So, Badaz is disabled. His son is now admitted in hospital in a serious condition. He was shot in his back, his abdomen, and his buttocks. So, it's likely that if he doesn't succumb to his injuries, he might also end up in the same position like his father. Now, we are also learning that when this crime scene was processed, 11 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. So it's safe to say that over 11 bullets were fired. And this yard, it was crowded. And like we tell you, their intended target was not hit. Their intended target, he escaped. The mayhem. Now, if you are here and you're watching this video, if you have not yet, hit on the like button. Remember to hit on it. If you have not yet, subscribe to the channel. By the end of today, we are expected to be at over 56,000 subscribers. So we are growing. Yes, we are growing. Remember, if you have not yet done so, hit on the subscribe button, as also hit on the notification bell. Then click all, so that as soon as we have uploaded a new video, you will be notified. Remember, tell a friend to tell a friend. Now in the final story for today, and this one happened early this morning. It happened at a place named Eaton. Now Eaton, if you know the parish of Hanover, just when you leave Lucy and you are heading to Montego Bay, when you come out of the town of Lucy, there's a bridge named Riley Bridge. You make that right turn. If you make the left turn, you are going to Johnsontown. If you make the right turn, you are going to Riley Road. You would make the right turn and drive go up a few miles. You would reach Eaton. So this incident, it took place this morning at Eaton. We are learning that a young man, the name we have gotten so far is that he's called DAMION. We haven't gotten his correct name or his full name, but we have confirmed that he's called DAMION. DAMION is from a place named Q. Now Q, that right turn that you would have taken to go Eaton, you wouldn't take it. You would head straight. You'd pass through Johnsontown and you'd go up that hill. As you finish the hill, there's a right turn. You go around that district is called Q. That is where this young man comes from. We are learning that about 3 years ago, DAMION, he was in a motor vehicle accident, a very serious motor vehicle accident. We are told that he was not yet 100. He was about 92%. You following me? Yeah man, he wasn't back to his usual self. So, early this morning, it is said that residents, they stumbled upon a motor car. When they made further checks, they saw a man. He had gunshot wounds to his head and his upper body. The police were called and they took this young man to the Noel Holmes Hospital where he was pronounced DEAD. Like I said, the reports I'm now giving to you are preliminary. We are certainly going to be updating this story tomorrow morning because we are gathering some more information. So stand by for that. But one thing I can tell you is that the mayhem continues. Blessed love, everybody.